I haven't got one, but two news stories for you today. Pretty amusing in my case. And yes, I've had my morning coffee. It's kicking in. The elixir of the gods is finally giving me that boost that I needed, which I so sorely needed last night because somebody notified me about a very funny story regarding Lord of the Rings, but I'm going to cover that here now. But first of all, courtesy of bleedingfool.com, DC Comics have been evicted from their offices in Burbank. This is hilarious. So in April 2015, DC Comics closed their New York offices. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but DC Comics and Marvel Comics were based in New York. I believe Marvel still is, but it's been a long time since I've checked in and all of that stuff. Because remember, back in the good old days of Marvel Comics, you know, when they didn't have stupid identity politics in them, you could open up the first page and somewhere below you'd see the offices, the address of the offices for Marvel, which is kind of insane. You know, you could send a fan letter in, you might get Stan Lee sending you back a personal letter or a pre-empted reply with a printed autograph. All those days are gone, folks. You know, it's sad to say. So DC Comics began moving in October of 2013 to their brand new spanking offices to be near Warner Brothers, to cuddle up to their bosom, and are hoping for a lot more success. Under the guidance of Diane Nelson, Dan DiDio, nearly said something else there for a second, and Jim Lee, who sadly has gone down in my estimation because he just sticks up for activists within DC, doesn't care where the comics are going now. What a shame. A guy I used to champion when he was the forefront of Image Comics back in the day. And by the way, if you want to get some great politically incorrect comics, Gen 13 I would recommend, even Pit by Dale Keown. While it's not politically incorrect, but you know, the whole musculature of the character and just the testosterone of the writing is amazing. And you can pick those comics up cheap at a Comic-Con convention or from a comic book dealer. So yeah, get the good old days of Image Comics, folks. But the writing, to quote Q from GoldenEye, may be on the wall for DC this week, because in less than 7 years, DC Comics have officially been booted out of their swanky West Coast offices. I went to Burbank many, many years ago. You can tell it's got a very filmy vibe to it. It's very corporate film industry down there. Lovely place, but you need a certain amount of wonga to live there. So this, I believe, are the offices for DC at the moment. It looks pretty nice. It kind of reminds me of a radio station I used to work for. That reception area looks pretty cool. This is definitely not going to be the morale boost the publishers sorely needed, but yesterday it was reported that Warner Brothers believes DC Comics no longer needs 3 floors of prime real estate. Now, what Warner Brothers are saying is, you guys are shit, just move now. You can just go to just be like Milton in Office Space. Just go down to the basement, hang out with the cockroaches, and you'll be okay. All right, loves? See you later. Bye. But, as it's gone on to say here, but even as the pandemic lifted and they changed distributors, sales have continued to plummet. And the schizophrenic publisher, I like that, that's a strange way to phrase. I guess that's true, actually. When you think about DC's stance on what they're doing with their comics, they suddenly go from one extreme to another. Maybe a bipolar publisher? I don't. And they continue to repeatedly double down on identity politics. Despite constant gaslighting by comic book creators at DC and Marvel, insisting that the comics industry is healthier than ever, it ain't. Keeping DC's publishing department in posh offices was a burden even Warner Brothers was no longer willing to bear. I can't blame them. And of course, you got Superman and Krypto the dog just crying their eyes out. Anyway, moving on to our second story, which will have you chuckling in the aisles to OneRing.net. You know that company, the organization that used to be very pro Lord of the Rings, but then they came out with horrible takes about Sir Ian McKellen, how his gayness ruined Lord of the Rings, the original franchise, and obviously The Hobbit, because people went to the cinema and objected to Gandalf the Grey being gay. What absolute poppycock, I can tell you that much. I saw all 3 films at the cinema in their original release. voice, not one member of the audience was saying, oh, that Ian McKellen is so gay. No one ever said that because A, Ian McKellen is a Shakespearean actor. He's got a pedigree to him. He's absolutely fabulous. And yeah, this is years and years later that might have come out, but certainly didn't see any receipts or screenshots to prove that. Now, the OneRing.net, they published this post on the 28th of Feb, so that was 2 days ago. Thankful for the incredibly talented actors who are bringing Middle-earth's second age to life. Maybe that's probably down to Amazon. They're trying to bring it to life, resuscitation.
I would love for it to be after I'm dead.
Like all the Lord of the Ring and Hobbit actors before, pay attention to the Hobbit, folks. You're going to love this. They are the next big stars who bring their best to Tolkien's Legendarium. Happy that these first looks came during Black History Month. Wow. Just keep pushing that, folks. Keep pushing that One Ring. You know, we love you so much. So, at first glance, you're going to think, okay, this is not bad. Well, you know, let's check this out. So, you've got the short hair. You've got the... What is this? This is the buzz cut elf? That's what I'm going to call him. I'm so vain, I can't have hair extensions. No. You must give me that nice fine barber cut line all across my forehead. So that's Ishmael Cruz. And look, that is a cheap costume. Is that somebody's face on his costume? It is, isn't it? I've just noticed that now, actually. Is that Santa Claus dwarf that we saw before? It looks like him, doesn't it? Am I seeing things? You know, it's like that painting that you look at on the wall, and if you stare long hard enough, you might see a ship. Oh, boy. Of course, we do like our favourite dwarven woman here with no beard, because... Is it because of her complexion, maybe? If we put a beard, it just makes her look more offensive. I mean, really? Come on, guys. Give me a break. She looks like Mr. T's cousin. She's got the gold jewelry. Hey, you looking at me, fool? That's what she reminds me of. I mean, again, the heavy messaging in this picture. But boy, oh boy, are we going to come to greatness right now. You're going to love this. You're going to so love this. What is wrong with this picture? It is Lenny Henry. I'm not calling him sir. He doesn't deserve that. What do you think is wrong with that picture?
You serious?
Oh, I'll tell you what's wrong, actually. Wowee. It's, Let's scroll on down. Look at that. Look, I'm just giving you a side-by-side comparison right here. They have literally black-faced Martin Freeman, who played the original Bilbo Baggins. They have taken Lenny Henry, just a stock photo of Lenny Henry. Now, I've looked around for the image for Lenny Henry. The best I can come up with is this picture here, where he was at a Waterstones event last year, I believe. It's the same picture that you can see right here. I think they've used like a 3D program that you can get on Microsoft that you can cut out images with, or maybe Microsoft Paint. They've just used that. They've tilted the head very slightly. And yeah, look at that. That is so funny. So I believe Colin Best might be the first one to shout this one out. I'm assuming there's no official look at Lenny Henry yet, given that the photo used seems to have his head photoshopped onto a studio shot of Martin Freeman. Oh, good grief. Story before message, please. So the stories Tolkien wrote had no message? Why is that photo montage of Lenny Henry's face over a promo pic of Bilbo being used alongside official posters? It's highly misleading. Case in point, it also didn't come out during Black History Month. Oh, that montage has been bouncing around the webs ever since Henry's potential participation in the show was first leaked. I tell you what though, when the first images of Lenny Henry surface as the half-foot hobbit, whatever you want to call him, the old videos are going to come back to haunt him, calling him a hypocrite, which he is. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, you know how Awkwafina has been in trouble recently for doing the black scent, you know, mimicking a person of color's accent from whichever part of America they're from. And of course, Lenny Henry did a very similar thing. I mean, he was BAE back in the 70s and the early 80s, mimicking his own race of people.
It's really great. In fact, I'm dunking for Jamaica. It's really good. Listen, all you people, see, you remember last week when I did that great joke?
But obviously, he was pulled aside by Dawn French, his then wife, and said, you can't do that anymore. It is just politically incorrect. But you can't erase history, folks. And you can go on YouTube and you can check out Lenny Henry. Just type in Lenny Henry OK, and then you'll see what pops up. So he claims to be an activist now against racism, against everything else, but the guy is a hypocrite. So the fact that he's boasting about playing the first black hobbit, well, we don't know that they were black actually, because yes, they are described as a darker hue of skin, but according to people who have watched and have told me that they might likely be olive skinned, or again, too much time in the sun, who knows? But it's a funny story, this. And great take, OneRing.net. Fantastic. You think people wouldn't know, but obviously thanks to people like Colin Best, they spotted it and they haven't done a damn thing about it. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I mean, blackwashing Martin Freeman or whitewashing Lenny Henry. You take your pick, folks. So did you enjoy this quick video today? DC Comics, it just gets funnier by the minute. Jim Lee, Diane, what's her face, and the other guy, can't say his name. I'm going to say the wrong thing today. Yeah, I wish them the best of luck. They deserve it. Again, you sell stupid prizes, you get stupid money back in return, which in this case is hardly any money whatsoever. So if you enjoyed this video today, folks, do me a big favor, get me up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of next week. I'm kind of being that ambitious now. Hit the like button. Please share this video everywhere that you can. And if I were you, I'd see me on my next video.